Y'all. Hey, first off, I want to ask a question. Does a story seller or a movie maker want you to give away the plot that, hey, this is a story, everybody? Don't worry, the movie is just a movie. This character, he's going to be okay by the end of it, actually. Everything's all right. And by the way, he's just an actor. Do the movie makers want us to do that in the middle of the movie? Do the story sellers want you to hear what I'm asking here? So, yeah, my movie or my media echo chamber is insane making, actually, for sure, in these ways, definitely, where like it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I know people sometimes do this too, but there's like, for a long time, the message that I always heard in my echo chamber, I only know mine, and maybe this wasn't yours, but in mine was that she was the least favorite vice president ever, Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris was the least favorite uh, vice president ever. In my media message, I heard that a lot. Now, do I know that's true? I don't know that's true. I know that's what I've heard many times, and I bet many of my friends have too, because we probably share an echo chamber. Some of you, maybe you're in opposite echo chamber, so you don't remember that or didn't get that message at all in your life. And isn't that interesting? If so, that's fine, actually. You can't help it. You're in your own echo chamber, actually. And it's just, the way it is. I could say, unfortunately, because we need to find common ground, actually, common goodness, too. And that's what I'm headed for here. So then suddenly, also my whole life, for a long time, I've been seeing that Biden seems like he's, got major mental impairment. And then during the debates, it showed up and it was seen that to everybody undeniably that was true. And the media appeared that was news, actually. This is all insane making for me. It makes me be like, hey, like, that's crazy, actually. And then, yeah, whatever happened, however long he stayed in, and I could explain some of that kind of bullshit that was going on there with his messaging compared to the media's message. And the fact that the media just pretended that they weren't ever like, there's no kind of like, there's not any like, hey, we made a mistake. Obviously we overstated that. Or like, on behalf of the majority of our side, we know we were biased in some way, actually. Like, there isn't that, and there can be that. There isn't that yet, but there can be that, and there is an encouragement for it. So anyway, he left the thing, and suddenly Kamala Harris is like the new VP, and I kind of think there is no way she'll do well because people don't like her. Like the messages in my echo chamber was always that she's the least favorite VP, like I heard. So it seemed like she was going to lose super easily, but suddenly it's the opposite message on my feed. And this is my echo chamber, and this is the way my echo chamber has gone. The history was nobody liked her. Apparently, she was the least favorite VP, according to the echo chamber of the things that I saw and were on my media. And then suddenly, she might be the new president, and when she becomes it, just like a little bit later, suddenly she's super loved and popular. Now, I don't know if any of that is quote unquote true. I know what the message that I receive in my echo chamber is. I wonder what it is for you. Like, has there been flips that make you pissed about the media and how the messaging is, or something like that? It's not that I'm against Kamala Harris. No, like, I would love to have lunch with her and give her a massage, actually, for sure. I'd love to hear who she is, actually, no matter who they are, actually. Trump, too, definitely, and Biden, actually. Plus Obama, and Osama, even, definitely. I would like to have lunch with any of them and do my best to disarm whatever division there may be between us. It is something that I'm actually pretty good at, to tell you the truth, disarming people who seem to be kind of intently against me or something like that. But hey, Lori, what's up, Soulstar? Long time no talk, long time no see. But anyway, my echo chamber had it be that the message about Kamala Harris was that she was the least favorite VP in all of history, and this was the common message that was given to me in my echo chamber. Suddenly, we're being told that she might be the president pick, and everybody thought she was going to lose. And now in my echo chamber, it's just nothing but love, and there's no mention of the memory in my echo chamber of what was given to me by the media for me to see. There's no mention of, and isn't that interesting that she could go from the least favorite VP to the most loved, and how it happened, actually. Like, there's no explanation. This is crazy making. In your media, in your echo chamber, what makes you feel crazy, I think I know, like, it's not just TDS, what Trump derangement syndrome. It's actually it's media derangement syndrome. There was a philosopher named Soren Kierkegaard who wrote in a book like a long ass time ago, and it was that he said that if there was something that would be called what he called a voice tube is what he called it, and he said if it were a message machine that were spread throughout the world, it would make us have to speak about it all. Like it would dominate non-locally our communication. It would have these reverberation effects that it predicted that would be shitty for our situation. Very interesting. This guy wrote this almost as a prophecy, and a lot of the things he said about it, the amplification and the multiplications of the way it may be used and manipulated. His predictions pretty much are as we see them. So it's not Trump derangement syndrome. It's actually media derangement syndrome. It's insane making for me that I get to hold people's positions in my life. It's intense that this person loves to hate Trump, and this person loves to hate people who hate Trump, and loves Trump, or likes what Trump stands for at least, or something like that. And then I'm like, like I got it. Like I can see what you're saying. I swear I can. And why can't you see what each other are saying? Can you please just admit that you can? You are smart enough. I live in a land full of smart people who can understand the other side, despite the MDS, the media derangement syndrome. This is the way to control us through division in some way. Well, we are, whether it is like someone from the top or something, or if it's just an emergent property, we have been being controlled by this division, played by manipulation, and we can wake up to this and admit that we are in our own echo chamber, actually. And your echo chamber, I can't know it, actually. I can know parts of it. I can hear what you have to say, and I can be flabbergasted that you say other things than me, or that you see things that I don't see. But I can actually get beyond that flabbergastedness and recognize that makes sense. He's in his other echo chamber from mine, and you can recognize that mine too makes sense, actually, I mean, I don't want to spend time researching Kamala Harris personally. I don't want to at this moment. I did research recently Nicole Shanahan, who is the VP pick of RFK Jr., and she is freaking awesome and intelligent for sure as a person. Like, I like awesome, intelligent people, and she definitely is that. If you listen to her speak, if you listen to her interview, I've listened to one long one with Eric Weinstein, another intellectual powerhouse. Whether you agree with them or not, they are smart people, smart cookies, and they are going for good idealism, in my opinion. Amazingly, actually. But I don't really want to study Kamala Harris right now. I don't want to study Trump right now much either. I don't want to. And I don't have enough time to, in order for me to do what I want to do. Even to, I could, instead of having this conversation with you, I could just be reading, I could be listening to as many Kamala Harris's videos as I can, or reading about her or something like that. But the point of saying that is, I was with a man in Sacramento not too long ago who is afraid that voting for Trump, it would be like the Jews voting for Hitler in some way, that he may become Hitler. He's like, that's a legitimate fear of mine. And I kind of can hear him, and I can say, I could see why you would say that, actually. And I can say that because I care about his reasons, actually, and that I don't need my reasons to be beyond his. He's got his reasons, and they make sense to me. It's his own echo chamber that tells him that, and he has compassion for the messages he's received. Some people only have rebellion against their own messages, actually. I'm saying this as someone who came from a religion that he has rebellion against the messages he received. This guy does. He also understands and has compassion for them. In fact, he's at someone's home who is in submission to those religious messages, actually, and he appreciates these people whose home he is in. This guy here, Joey, he's in his best friend's home, a Mormon missionary companion of his, and so Joey can, I can understand other people's positions. And so anyways, this fella, he said that he was afraid that if we elected Trump, that Trump would become Hitler. And he said that there were Jews who voted for Hitler and obviously regretted it. He himself is a Hispanic fella and feels like there's reason to feel afraid for who his identity is against what Trump stands for, or something like that. And I could easily say to him, yeah, man, I understand why you'd say that, actually. Like, I could totally understand why you say that. And eventually I said, hey, but you know how I can understand what you say? There's people who think like the same thing about like the left side in some way. Not the exact same thing. There's differences for sure. But they think that the left is manipulating race and things like that in a way that will lead to lots of division and problems. Hey, love you too, Lori. And hello, my friend, hello. But yeah, they thank you for that kind message. But they think that the left side is manipulating race and really causing a lot of problems with that, just as much as you think that the right side is doing that, and that you're smart enough, you can. This guy, he's smart, he's a wise guy. You can understand this, and actually, we came to a place of meeting on that. And then later, he said about Kamala, that I was like, the only thing I know about her is that she seems. Anything I've seen about her, she's like Trump. I said Trump. He seems like a bully to me. That's a big problem, actually, in my opinion. Being able to shove your weight around, I think I could see almost anybody having judgment, like the compassionate, feminine, soft-sided heart, not wanting to have somebody throw their weight around. I understand, but and it's good. It's like not a bad thing to get to be able to do, but Trump's proclivity to do that, and his it seems what I see, if I'm honest, and being honest, I'll say, even the man who had the conversation with Nicole Shanahan, he said how much he likes Trump's things, but it's dangerous how much he flirts with violence. He sort of does in some way, but Biden flirts with racism for sure. If you're not black, if you're not voting for me, you ain't black. You could say that's different, and of course it's different. It's not the same. It's not the same, but it's similar. There's similarities. You can admit this. Your stubbornness doesn't have you stop yourself from admitting how smart you are, which is that you're smart enough to understand me. And it may take a while too. Sometimes it takes me a while to understand certain people. The guy Brian, whatever, that guy who said who's doing the Don't Die protocol. Do you know him? This guy who's like eating perfectly healthy and stuff. He says it takes people, like 3 hours to get what he's getting at. Anyway, I said, Trump for sure, his character is a bully, and I don't like that. And to me, Kamala, what I see is she seems really stupid, actually. He's like, she's not stupid. And I was like, what's interesting? You've never seen anything stupid from her, have you? And he's like, no. And I was like, man, there are stupid things to see from her for sure. And I haven't seen anything really like smart or wonderful from her. I mean, like little quotes and stuff that are like good cliches or something like that. But I was like, see, that's the cool thing for us to recognize, is you can't help it. Like, your echo chamber makes sense to you and mine to me. Okay, that's what I got to say. Tell me, what does your echo chamber say to you? And does it twist? Do you remember? Was your echo chamber the same as mine, in that you thought that you always heard that she was the least favorite, and then that suddenly it flipped, and now your echo chamber is telling you how wonderful she's doing and how loved she is and how great she is? Is that happening on your echo chamber? It's not the only thing that's happening on my echo chamber, but there is like a lot of that in my face on mine. Okay, we're talking in the comments, and this is where actually, in some way, I'm gonna get a little meta here. It's a last minute meta-ness. Is that our sovereign self? It is built in a dynamic dance and in intensegrity with the commons. And our sovereign self can take the commons off completely and go into the holy instant within, the holy kingdom, the kingdom within, or the holy instant immersion, as a way of completely taking off the commons or other. But in some way, the wrestle we have with the commons, our sovereign self is dependent upon. Even like the language we speak is a common language. I have to bend my sound around your English ears to hear. There are like playful ways that I'd like to say things that I bend myself to not do, because I'd like to play, like, my sovereignty wants to be musical in some ways, but there's like, okay, I'll say it this way. At the end of a prayer in English, you say Amen. At the end of a prayer in like kind of like Native American and or New Agey circles too, which is where they get it from, they say aho. So amen and aho. It's kind of funny. It's masculine and feminine in some way. Similarly, FYB, fuck yeah bro. And then FYH, fuck yeah. See, it rhymes. I can say fuck yeah bro, and that's pretty cool. Some people say I'm cursing, by the way. I'm not. I swear to God. Swear words are not curse words. In fact, they can be blessings, especially when I say, fuck yeah, bro, that's fucking awesome, man. That's really great, actually. Look at the energy. It's an upward energy. And I can stop it. Someday I may plan to. I don't know. I had a teacher today who I heard she is purposely not swearing, and I'm curious to hear why exactly. But also, you can understand what I'm saying, and you don't have to have a problem. But if you did, and you told me that I was going to go to hell because of cursing, that technically that's a curse, actually. And if you can't see that my friend who does that to me is actually giving me a positive energy, then you're kind of stuck in the word of the law instead of the spirit of the law. So what was I saying here? Meta. What was getting meta? Conversation. Well, I wish I could rewind it and see what I was saying. There was meta there. Echo chamber. I went off on something profane about profanity. Isn't it interesting? There's so many words for them. Taboo word, profane, curse, cuss, bad word, blasphemy word, swearing. All those things go around these intensifier words. Shoot, what was I saying? Anyway, okay. So, chime in below, let me know. I'm going to listen and see what I was saying. Chime in below, let me know if you notice that your echo chamber has changed the same way mine has, or if not, and or if you have anything else that yours is doing in some way that has been frustrating you, making you mad. It's like there could have been a way for the news to play even the George Floyd thing to take care of our emotions, actually. But it doesn't. It does the opposite somehow. Instrumentally, what is it doing that's like getting us a result that we would like? A. And B, how is it on the way taking care of the hearts and ears of those who hear its direction? You know, that's the thing we all got to play with. Goal line, soul line, or soul line, goal line, whichever you want to call it. There's the goal line of the result we need in reality, and there's the soul line of, hey, instrumentally, I really want you to do this, but how are you? And there's a way for us to play and take care of both, and needing to at times say, hey, it's not time to be emotional right now. We really need to get this shit done. Can I cover that later? Your breath of your heart, or what's happening in your insides. Yeah, so the messaging to us, it can be so much better. I swear to God it can. And you can understand, despite its intention to seemingly claim you can, to frame you in the opposite side of a script that won't understand or something like that. You can understand. You can claim, just like I did to my friend, that I can't understand what you're saying, and you can't understand that the other side is afraid of a similar thing from the other side. All right, good night.